years ago, and I don't remember exactly how many, at least 10, maybe more. It was, I believe it was Halloween, and the art teacher at the school I worked at, which was Earl Haig Secondary School in Toronto, appeared. And on that day, because it was Halloween, I had dressed in kind of my biker stuff, which I use for TV things and, you know, once in a while if I ride my motorcycle. Anyway, she said, "Our model has cancelled. Is there any way that you could come and sit for us this afternoon?" Now, a lot of the modeling that goes on there, I must tell you, the people they draw are nude. So I took a deep breath. And before I could even ask, she said, No, you can just wear your stuff, wear your biker stuff. That's perfect, that's dandy, that's fine." So I said, okay. So I rearranged my lunch, and up I went. And the funny thing is, when I got there, and this was not announced to anybody, you know, they just, whatever model would come in, they'd draw them, they'd do their thing. And these were, I think, mostly grade 12, maybe some grade 11 students. So I just wandered in, as I would sometimes do, just to, you know, how's it going in the art department, how's things, and talk to a few people. And as they were getting set up and getting their easels, getting their stuff, and I think mostly this was going to be pencil, so. And then, out of the blue, without any fanfare, without anything, I sat down in the chair that the models would sit in. And I went very still. And after maybe 15 seconds, people realized what was happening, that I was there to sit for them. And I stayed still, and I tried to focus on one thing and keep my eye line exactly where it was, because of course that changes when you move your eyes. So, there did seem to be, immediately, sort of an exodus. Like there was maybe 15 people, maybe 20 getting set up. But then there seemed to be a lot less. Some people started drawing, but then it looked like there was a lot of people missing. But then, a whole lot more people started showing up. And I guess they were from the other class, and people in the class that I was sitting for had run off to grab them from the cafeteria or from their spare, or heavens, maybe even from another class, for a chance to draw me. There was much excitement. It's funny. It was all very quiet and all very respectful. And you know, I can't say I would want to sit there naked in front of people, but really, when they're drawing you, whether you're clothed or not, it is a very interesting experience, especially when you're just trying to stay still. So if they'd really ever come to me and said, "We would like you to pose naked," I would probably have said no, but I would have considered it. Anyway, to continue with the story, some of the works that were done were quite magnificent. I mean, there were people of different levels and such, but most people, I think, added these things to their portfolio to sort of, oh, look at this. And the teacher and the head of the department and the art department were quite thrilled, and some of them actually ended up in the big art show at the end of the year. And then the one teacher said, near the end of the year, she said, "You know what, some of the kids left your drawings for you." And I said, "Oh, great." She said, "There's just one thing. I can't find them." I said, "Oh, okay, well, you know, they'll show up, because, you know, they have lots of drawers and things and stuff." And I figured, oh yeah, you know, someday they'll be found. I figured, you know, the next day, the day after, whatever. Maybe 5 or 6 years later, right near the end of the year again, when I guess they were tidying up and sorting through and doing whatever, they found the folder. And I have not looked at this in years. And I don't remember how many there are. But right now, I'm just going to grab the top one. And I haven't looked. I'm trying not to knock anything down. By the way, they were, I think, it was 24 by 36. Oh, okay. So there. Now I hope this is showing up okay over there. I know that sometimes when you put big white things in the middle of things. It doesn't. And it's not standing up very well. Hagrid, I need your help. Maybe I need to move this power supply a little bit. Maybe. Alright. Hagrid, stand there. I suppose I can hold this. Anyway, yes. So this is the first one that I've just pulled out. I don't know. I'd say there's probably more than 5 and less than 10 of these original pencil artworks. And as you can see, I was sitting. Now they don't usually, I guess the chair isn't really there. I did have a camera around my neck. I was wearing not this hat, but the sometimes I wear a leather hat here, and I did. At that point, it still had kind of sword things, emblems on the front. But that since I took off, it wasn't really. They were cheap, and I mean it was just a hat I got at the Kinmount Fair, and the metal things weren't all that great. And since then, I've had other things on the front of that hat. Right now, I don't have anything. So there is the first of the drawings. And I had always thought that at some point I would probably frame these. I would. It's interesting when I look at them, or this one anyway, I see that, like, there's even finger smudging and other such things at the side. And here there's a little wayward paint, and I'm not sure why. But still, you know, how many people have drawings of themselves of this caliber? This is something. It is. And I do recognize the name on here. And of course, I don't know where she would be now or what she's up to. But I hope that just for that, I think it was about 75 minutes, that I helped to inspire something in her artistic endeavors. Because this is good. It's funny, you know, because the drawings, and I'll get more out as I get brave enough to look at them, she was obviously almost straight in front of me. But of course, when I was sitting there, there was people, it was like a horseshoe-shaped thing. So even though they were all drawing me, and I was, you know, in the same casual, my foot was twisted over, and my other foot was up, and my knee was out, and my hands were just sitting there, and the camera was there. Each one, as they say, because they will be from a different perspective, will be different. And some people, like, she obviously drew all of me, but some people may not have done that. Some people may have just focused in on something. Or, you know, just the top, or just, I don't know. I haven't looked at these in years. I think pretty much all of them did my head and my face. I think. But anyway, I'll see. But I'm going to treat these very carefully, and perhaps I will indeed put them in a frame. And when I finish in the pool room getting things tidied up, maybe I will hang some of these, maybe all of them. Maybe. It's funny, you know, as I look at it, and I know you probably can't see as well as I, it's all good. But boy, it's eerie when I look into my eyes in this, because they're not, you know, they're not a big part of it. But as I said, I did pick a spot, and I literally, for the 75 minutes, I looked straight ahead. And what I was looking at is there was an overhead projector screen, and it had a little, like, handle for you to pull on it, so you could pull it down, let it back up. So as I just sat down, it was kind of shiny. I thought, right, I can't, I can't not, like, I'm not going to lose that. And so I just looked at the shiny thing, and I stared at it. I tried as best as I could not to even blink, but my eyes did start to get a little watery. So once in a while I would blink. But I would do my best to keep the same expression. And for some people, until you've actually sat for 75 minutes without moving, it's really not easy. It really is not. Like, I wasn't restrained physically, but certainly in order that their work be the best it could, I did everything I could to not move a muscle or even scratch my nose or anything, lest my hand would not get back in the same position. So I just sat and stared. Much like that. Anyway, I will, over the next while, look at some of the rest of these. So maybe they're not 2 by 3. Maybe it's 18 by 24. I don't know. Hey, wait a second. I've got a tape measure. 18. (18 by 24). Always good to know. Anyway, I'm going to slide this version of Biker Dave back into the folder. And the folder is not like some elaborate thing. The folder is a piece of paper that I suspect is about twice the size of this, folded over, thus being a folder. So I'm going to put this back in, and another time I'll get out another one. So, as much as it was difficult, I'm very glad that their model could not come that day, and I was very pleased and honored to be able to sit for them. Because the one head of the department, he said, and actually one of the other art teachers too, he said a lot of people, it was their best work of the year. So I'm glad I was able to be there and inspire their creativeness. And actually a couple of them who didn't quite get finished, at some point I did sit a little bit more for them to just get finished. Anyway. For those who have not worked in a school, perhaps you don't understand. Perhaps you do. But it's funny. In my role at the school, doing things like that really were not, it's not my job to go and sit in an art class. But by doing it, it helps the community. It helps build a sense of belonging and a sense of, yeah, we're all here. And, I know it builds community. And I'm sure that at some point over the time that I was there, when somebody saw one of these drawings, or they saw that I had sat, and I did sit other times for other classes, not a whole bunch, but now and again, it did make me seem more human and more approachable. And I know I can never know what's going to get somebody to come and say, by the way, hi, I need help, or big things, little things, anything. But I know in my role at both schools, by being approachable and by being there and by doing things like this, and I'll tell more stories at some point, like about how I danced ballet in a tutu. But I know those things, unrelated as they were, I know they helped me be in a position to save young lives. And what is more important than that?